in any event, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for allowing me to participate. The reason I'm on is that I used to be the mayor of Miami-Dade County during the 2020 election, and as the mayor, I was also the supervisor of elections, so I know exactly how and what kind of elections we conducted here in Miami-Dade. And I can tell you that we had record numbers of people voting. We issued a note, a postcard to every single household that had a voter in it in Miami-Dade, reminding them they could request an absentee ballot. We've got record numbers of absentee ballots that were requested, and we had a record number of absentee ballots that were cast during the presidential election of 2020. In Miami-Dade, this is not the Miami-Dade of 2000. The Miami-Dade of 2022, the elections department is completely different. We learned from our past, and I can honestly say that we are the model, okay, for not only the state of Florida, but probably for the rest of the nation. We pride ourselves in open and fair elections here in Miami-Dade with record number of participants, and we're a very diverse community. We're a majority minority community here in Miami-Dade County. And the way we conducted our elections, we have drop boxes for the first time in history, and I know there's been a lot of talk about drop boxes and access to drop boxes here in Miami-Dade. The drop boxes were in our early voting sites. They were all monitored, so that they were always an employee of the elections department was always overseeing the drop boxes and what was being put in it, which secured that drop box. But I also have to remind everybody that as far as absentee ballots are concerned, there are drop boxes that are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're called United States Postal Service mailboxes. All right, that's where absentee ballots are supposed to be dropped off. Only when you don't have confidence in the United States Postal Service is when you go to a drop box and drop it off yourself. Also, there are these people, these individuals that come by your house, or they come by your apartment or your ALF. They're called United States postal workers. They'll pick up your absentee ballot and take it to the elections department. One great thing that we do here also in Florida is that we count our absentee ballots as they come in. We don't divulge the number, but what that does, it allows us to have a count very early on as to what's happening. The only ones that we don't count, or that we count as they come in, are the ones that actually come in on election day. We don't accept any absentee ballots after 7 o'clock that reach our election department after 7 o'clock. They are not valid. The individuals had over a month to get these ballots in, so I'm sorry if you think that that's limiting access, but actually that's a pretty good amount of time to get your ballot in. And so what that does, it allows Miami-Dade County and the state of Florida to actually count the ballots probably much quicker than anybody else, and we don't have this issue of having to wait weeks to figure out who won the election. And so the rest of the country would actually follow our lead. We could probably find out who the president of the United States is by early morning, maybe early morning the next day at the latest, instead of having to wait weeks and weeks and weeks to figure out all these ballots that may be coming in from all over the place, which I think it's really that's wrought. Could be wrought with fraud, all right, and so that's why we do things this way in Miami-Dade County and in the state of Florida. Frankly, I believe we're the gold standard, and if the rest of the nation followed our lead, the great state of Florida, I think that the issue of election integrity would be put to bed. We do have a very secure election system here in the state of Florida, and with very, very few complaints. You didn't hear people saying, gee, I really couldn't get to a polling place. Gee, I really couldn't drop off my absentee ballot. Gee, I couldn't, give it to my post office worker. It just didn't happen because, frankly, much of the rhetoric about access and somehow we're restricting voting is just that. It's rhetoric. And actually, it runs counter to what this committee wants to do, which is to create confidence in our election system. And I can tell you with 100% accuracy, there is confidence in Florida state's election system. And with that, I yield back. Thank you very much.